Where are you going with my mug, though? I need that. Okay, next quest. Hi. Oh, I can't even talk to her right now. Hey. How are you doing? Quite well, thank you. In fact, I was just thinking I would make a request. Have you ever heard of silver moonlight tea? It's a variety that I drank once with the Vindian monks. The taste of it brought my tongue near to bursting. It was a blisteringly potent drink. Yet when the feeling subsided, I experienced a tremendous oneness with myself and the world around me. I do not often wish for it, but at this moment, I find myself desiring a cup. Perhaps all this talk of passion has stoked my adventurous side. Sure. How do you make it? The monks placed 1 messberry, 1 chip, and 1 pellmelon, and a mushroom into a pot of hot water? What about the tea? Oh, okay. With dried tea leaves, of course. Is that too much to ask? Messberry, chip, pellmelon, mushroom. Got it. Thank you, Warrior Alta. Which mushroom? I don't have a messberry. Or a chip. This guy likes to ask for annoying things, I have decided. Least favorite character. Couldn't ask for anything normal. At least this time, it is very specific what he wants. Okay, I think this was the tree. Ah, I put the stupid watering can away. Also, I have mail. Hello, book lovers. It's a book by mail club again. I have to say, it's been a long time since I received such a positive response to a book as with Edge of a Bullet. Y'all really liked it. So let's read another Dirk Warhard novel. This time, it's The Fastest Bullet Alive. I hope you like this as much as Dirk likes justice. Later, Gators. Oh, no. This book is part of a series? No. No. I mean, we have to read it. Oh, God. The location? Outer space. The mission? This one's 13 pages. Dirk Warhard going to outer space. The man? Dirk Warhard. Dirk Warhard knew only one thing about outer space. Anything you kill in space stays there for good. He couldn't remember where he had learned this piece of information, but it was about to save his life. 2 days ago, he had boarded a spaceship bound for the Global Alliance space station. Most field agents required extensive training to prepare for a mission to space, but Dirk Warhard was no ordinary agent. He completed the 3-week training program in a mere 6 hours, taught himself physics in order to build his own spaceship, and most importantly, he could hold his breath for up to 30 minutes at a time. This last point was important because Dirk Warhard didn't trust the government-issued space suit he had been given. It was common knowledge that the government filled their spacesuits with government air, a type of air subsidized by the government for public use, and so it had inevitably been breathed by all manner of degenerates, such as actors and theater performers and improv comedians. Not those. Dirk Warhard trusted air that only he had ever breathed, and so throughout the mission he had only allowed himself to breathe once every 30 minutes, so as to consume as little of the degenerate air as possible. Oh God. At this moment, he had just taken one such breath. He was floating in space, just outside the Global Alliance space station, fitted in his government-issue spacesuit. Not 100 feet away, a vicious man named Commander Huntington was waiting, also floating in space. However, Commander Huntington was wearing perhaps the most elite spacesuit ever constructed. A fusion-powered nanoparticle exoskeleton made from steel and magma, and designed by a man who didn't know how to love. Dirk Werhard grimaced at the relative puniness of his own suit as the government air rushed into his lungs, and he screamed as the horrific thoughts of mediocre community improv assaulted his mind. Commander Huntington smirked, aware of his obvious advantage. "I see you, Dirk Werhard," he yelled. "I see you and the pitiful equipment you've lugged up here. How could you ever consider yourself a match for my superior exoskeleton?" As he said this, the exoskeleton blinked in a pattern of glowing green lights that looked like a snake, which Dirk Werhard thought was super cool. "Face it," chuckled Commander Huntington, "you've lost. Outer space belongs to me now, and with my unstoppable technology, I will rule over it like a king." Dirk Werhard wanted to yell back, "Well, you can't do all of that stuff if you're dead," but he knew that doing so could easily shave 10 minutes off his breath-holding time. So he instead turned to someone who could do all the talking for him, his trusty handgun. Dirk Werhard pulled the handgun from its holster, pointed it at Commander Huntington, and squeezed the trigger. The bullet exploded out of his gun, raced towards Commander Huntington, and slowed to a complete halt, inches from Huntington's face. Commander Huntington burst into laughter. Well, it seems even the famous Dirk Werhard is fallible. My exoskeleton emits a gravitational field that will slow your bullets to a complete halt. Do you see now how useless it is to oppose me? I'm invincible." And the lights on his suit showed the cool snake eating toxic waste and surviving. It was a terrible moment for Dirk Werhard. His handgun had never failed him before, and he had fired it over 1 million times at over 10 million people. "You'll never be able to shoot me," taunted Commander Huntington. "Your bullets aren't fast enough." Suddenly, something sparked in Dirk Werhard's mind. The commander's words echoed in his ears. "Your bullets aren't fast enough." His mind stirred, and a memory of himself as a young man suddenly flashed before his eyes. "I said, your bullets aren't fast enough, Werhard." It was the voice of Hollister Madblack, Dirk Werhard's very first trainer. Madblack had been the one who shaped Dirk Werhard into the heroic agent of violent justice he would one day become. Madblack was a brutal teacher, unrelenting in his methods, and incredibly specific in his background knowledge of your insecurities. And on this particular day, Dirk Werhard had spent all afternoon at the firing range while Madblack berated him. "Your bullets aren't fast enough," Madblack growled. "They're pathetic. You've got all the intensity of a comatose infant dying of the plague underwater. Do it again." The young Dirk Werhard grimaced, his sweaty hands gripping the handgun, and he fired the gun once again with all his might. The bullet went fast, really, really fast, but it wasn't fast enough for Madblack. No, yelled Madblack, "still too slow. My grandmother could hobble faster than this, and she's literally made of bricks." "Do it again." Dirk Werhard was nearly at his limit. He'd been shooting the bullets as fast as he knew how to, and it still wasn't enough for Madblack. Dirk Werhard slumped his shoulders in resignation. Madblack got right in his face. "Now you listen to me, Werhard. We aren't leaving this pristine, privately funded underground training compound until you fire a bullet so fast it leaves me in tears. And I've only cried twice. Ever. So stand up, point yourself forward like a man, and fire the gun." A wave of determination swept over Dirk Werhard's face. He threw his shoulders back, raised his handgun into the air, and focused his mind on the one single thing in the world that brought him true happiness and inspiration. Dirk Warhard. He grinned. As his finger clenched the trigger with every fiber and strength he had, he screamed at the top of his lungs, "I'm Dirk Warhard!" The bullet erupted from the gun, traveling at speeds he'd never known before. Hollister Madblack smiled. "That's it, Warhard. That's what I wanted to see. Again." Dirk Warhard fired the gun again, this time with even more strength than before. His finger moved with a velocity he had never known in his life, slamming down onto the trigger. "My name is Dirk Warhard, and I am Dirk Warhard." I don't know, does the ID in your wallet say so? I think you should check. The bullet erupted from the gun at a blazing pace. Again and again he fired, each bullet faster than the one before. After nearly 9 hours of uninterrupted gunfire, Dirk Warhard at last paused and lowered his handgun. He turned to see Hollister Madblack with a single tear rolling down his cheeks. "Number 3, Warhard. Not bad." Those words echoed in Dirk Warhard's memory as his mind raced back to the present moment where Commander Huntington continued to taunt him using the exact same words he'd already repeated like 5 or 6 times by now. "Your bullets aren't fast enough to defeat me, Dirk Warhard." Dirk Warhard smiled. He gripped the handgun like you'd grip a beloved friend and pointed it at the commander, who simply laughed. "Go ahead, try your best." Dirk Warhard closed his eyes and thought deeply about the one thing in this world that he truly loved, the source of all of his inspiration, the only man whose air he'd willingly breathe, and the only family member who would have never sold his personal information to a country we're at war with, Dirk Warhard. A warmth filled him from within, circling his body before traveling downward into his finger. It was as though his finger was moving all on its own, unencumbered by any burden of life or physics, like a being of pure light traveling in an imperfect world. His finger squeezed the trigger with more strength, more velocity, more momentum than any man alive knew was possible. Nobody had ever fired a gun like this before. Nobody. With a deafening crack, the bullet fired directly at Commander Huntington. For a split second, Huntington felt a genuine shock that he may have been outmatched. And then, nothing. No reaction at all. Commander Huntington was perfectly fine. "Ha," he laughed. "You missed." The famous Dirk Warhard fires the shot of a lifetime, and he misses. Unbelievable. Huntington couldn't stop himself. He doubled over with laughter. But Dirk Warhard didn't seem to mind. In fact, the faintest grin danced across his face. Commander Huntington laughed and pointed at Dirk Warhard in mocking derision, until suddenly he was seized by an unusual feeling. What was this feeling exactly? It was as though the exoskeleton was gripping him just a bit less tightly than usual. In fact, he was starting to feel as though there were no exoskeleton. Not merely that the exoskeleton had been destroyed, but that it had never existed at all. Dirk Warhard had hit exactly what he'd aimed at. The bullet had erupted from the gun at such an unbelievable velocity that it couldn't be contained by the very fabric of space around it. It shredded through reality, setting quantum matter alight in its wake, and in doing so it pierced the veil of time. A bullet traveling so fast, it traveled backward in time. Okay. Sure. This is what we're doing now? Sure. Backward a minute, then an hour, then a day. Years began to fly by, and the bullet lost no momentum. It soared through the years until at last it found its destination, the steel and magma laboratory where the exoskeleton had been constructed, honed and refined in its design by the scientists who didn't know how to love. Decades of work and research had culminated in the unstoppable exoskeleton that Commander Huntington wore today. Yet here, at the start of it all, Dirk Warhard's bullet re-entered the fabric of space. It flew straight and true into the liquid explosive core of the facility, generating a spark that blew the entire facility to pieces. No exoskeleton would ever be constructed here. That much was certain. Now in the present moment, Dirk Warhard watched as Commander Huntington grasped and flailed at the empty space surrounding his body where the exoskeleton had been just moments ago. As Commander Huntington scowled at him in a combination of spiteful fury and suffocating, Dirk Warhard couldn't help but laugh. Dirk Warhard had always despised the past, but today, it had saved his life. He knew it would cost him precious air, but he was too swept up in emotion. He turned to outer space and yelled, "My name is Dirk Warhard, and I will defeat the past, even if it takes the rest of my life." Then he laughed and laughed until inevitably he had to breathe again. As he inhaled, the horrific thoughts returned of good-natured community actors just trying to get a leg up in their highly competitive industry. He shuddered in disgust, but somehow it didn't bother him. Here in space, watching as Commander Huntington suffocated or whatever he was doing over there, Dirk Warhard felt certain that he had made his old trainer proud. And that was all that mattered. Somewhere in the past, Hollister Madblack smiled ever so slightly and nodded in glowing approval as another tear ran down his calloused, stubbled cheek. Number 4. Not bad, Warhard. Not bad. I'm leaving. Do I have anything in my inventory that I need to, like, place somewhere? No. Okay. Okay. That was an experience. Alright. Where is my farm? I don't know where anything is right now. Nothing is where it's supposed to be. Dude, like, where is my farm? Legitimately? Okay. The area outside the tea shop does not make sense to me. But it's fine. I need a drink. I kind of hope there aren't more volumes of Dirk Warhard out there. No, I didn't even grab the stupid watering can. Everything is terrible. Okay. Where is my farm? There. All right. All right. What is our current request? One was a chip chip. I know that, which is 4 blues. Okay. All right. Chip chip. Blue. 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 And blue. Oh, I'm out of water. Water, please. Thank you. Okay, we've got a chip chip. What were the other things? A messberry and a pell melon. Remember to give Clint my watering can to upgrade it? Would that I could. Wasn't one of these a pell melon? Are you a pell melon? But also, I love this little guy. He's a little frog. I think this is the pell melon. Thank you. Okay, so messberry. How does one make a messberry? Blue surrounded by... I'm going to assume it's blue surrounded by yellow. That is my assumption. I need more yellow seeds, though. Okay. Beautiful. I can't water either of these anymore, can I? No. Okay. Blue. Surrounded by yellow. Probably. Hopefully. Yes, this is it. Okay, right now I only have a hue shroom. This is a dupe shroom. This one is a shrink shroom. Okay. I'll just use the current mushroom I have. Okay, so to clarify. Messberry, chip chip, pelmelon, mushroom. Not that. Okay, messberry, pelmelon, chip chip, tea, and then I already have the mushroom. Okay. So these 4 things, and then a mushroom. I did not mean to put that on the ground. All right, this is perhaps the most annoying recipe ever. Messberry, don't mess with the berry. No, don't mess with the berry. I only have 1. I need it. Okay. I don't know where my good mug is. So I will take this one. You mean so far? Oh no, don't say that to me. Nope, swerve back over. Yeah, here. Okay, water. Fire. Would you just boil already? Thank you. Okay. I need tea first. Then I need chip chip. Then I need messberry. Then I need pelmelon. And I need a mushroom. Yep. I hope he likes this monstrosity. That texture is something. Yep. He'd better like it. This looks like you took every color of like Mountain Dew and mixed it together.